Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the list of new games coming out in 2026 for PC. This is put out by PC Gamer. I'll put the link in chat one more time. What is that? There you go. So if you want to follow along on your own little browser, you can, or you can just watch the screen because that's what we're going through. So again, this list, we did this last year as well. Just to let you know, the majority of these games were the same, big hits, the hidden gems. More than likely, the big hits I have no interest in playing because they're not my thing, but they might be yours, and so you might want to be aware of when they're coming out, that kind of stuff. So anyway, this is the goal. So jump to next year, blah blah blah. So don't really care about reading this stuff. Biggest games of 2026. So how's the new games calendar shaping up? Blah, blah, blah. You can read this stuff if you want. Again, link in the chat. On YouTube, we'll put a link there in the description too when it gets up there. So biggest games launching. Resident Evil Requiem. I have never played a Resident Evil game in my life. I haven't even watched the movies. Crimson Desert. First launch was back in 2021, but it sounds like the March 26th date is for the real this time plan. It's the first single-player game for the studio behind Black Desert Online, one year college, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what this is going to be exactly. I haven't played Black Desert. I have an account, but I've never actually played it. Black Desert Online. Again, it's an MMO, RPG, fantasy, right? Crimson Desert, maybe. We'll have to probably take a little deeper dive into this one. Got until March to get a little bit more info on it, but we'll see. That might be a maybe. Asia MMO, right? Yeah, just like Black Desert, except that it's not an MMO; it's a single player. So again, it might be interesting. Like I said, I'll have to get more information as we get closer. First Light, I don't even know what this is. It's a Bond story set in an early career. I don't care. Grand Theft Auto 6 for consoles. Then why is it here? Who knows when it will launch for PC, but it can't. Okay, so I don't know why they put this in this list. If it's not coming out on PC, why is it here? I don't care if it's going to make it there eventually, but why is it here? Friggin' PC Gamer. Okay. Games coming out in January. Star Rupture, early access on Steam. Extraterrestrial base building and survival in early access. Oh, I've seen that, I think. A little bit. Maybe. We'll be going on to Steam here shortly and probably adding games to wishlist just as returning stuff as well. So we'll look at that in a little bit. Pathologic 3, not my thing. Big Hops, amphibian platformer, not my thing. Quarantine Zone, The Last Check. Protect humanity from biological threats. I'd have to see more of that. That's not a very good description of what it is. Craftlings. Pixely resource management with Terraria-like charm. Maybe. Maybe I'll take a look at that one. Legend of Heroes, Trails Beyond the Horizon, the Trails Through Daybreak 2 sequel. Not familiar with that. Broken Lore and Follow. Scarier social media. No, thank you. Mio, Memories in Orbit. Mio. Metrovania inside a giant spaceship. Nova Roma. I think I played the demo for that one. City Building to Appease the Gods. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of this one. I haven't played it myself, but I saw some other stuff. I don't know how I feel about it. There's some stuff that I liked and some stuff I didn't like from what I've seen. But we'll find out more next month. We'll see. Dun, dun, dun. Arknights and Enfield, a free-to-play gacha action RPG with base building. So, no. But that's going to be on Epic. Not going to worry about it. Seven Deadly Sins Origin. Open world RPG gacha game based on the manga series. I have no idea what that is. The Midnight Walkers Early Access. You versus the Living versus the Undead extraction shooter. I'm not sure how I feel about these PvPvE stuff. Some of them are okay, but I don't know. Like I said, these type of games I have mixed feelings about. Cairn. Survival mountain climbing. Oh, you make it the fall to your death? Just what I love. I don't have a fear of heights or anything, and then falling to my death. Don't stop, girly pop. Fast-paced, frilly arena shooter. Yeah, sounds great. Code Vein 2. And no, I don't do anime stuff. Lost Isle. Proc Gen Fantasy Survival? Oh, procedural generated. Why can't you type that out, you lazy bastards? Procedural generated fantasy survival. Oh, I know this one. Never mind. This is probably a no for me. Echoes of Elysium. Airship-based survival crafting for up to 6 friends. I've seen part of that too, and I think that's a no for me so far. Norse Oath of Blood. Viking settlement sim with turn-based combat. This is a maybe for me. I've seen a little bit of it. Unemployment Simulator 2018. Extremely realistic adult survivor sim. Maybe for laughs. Just because the title. Maybe. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. A second Dragon Quest VII remake. No. I would have avoided the first remake of Dragon Quest VII, but there's a second one. Definitely avoiding. Neo 3. No, not for me. Menace. This is the makers of Battle Brothers, but it's more of an XCOM type stuff. There's a demo out for this, I think, still. I keep forgetting to play it. I've seen different little videos here for this. I think this might be fun. But again, that comes out in February. I'm going to try to get this if I can. Neo 3 comes out in February. Yes, it does. February 5th. Mugenics. I'm going to guess this is a cat thing. Cat breeding RPG from the Super Meat Boy creator. I have no idea what that is, and I'm not interested. Romeo is a dead man. I'm pretty sure Romeo is dead. Third-person action ultra-violence. Nah. Yakuza Kiwami 3 and Dark Ties. Remake. Oh, remake? No, I don't think so. High on Life 2. Psychedelic FPS sequel. I don't know what that is. Reanimal. Co-op horror adventure as tormented siblings. No, doesn't sound fun. Styx, Blades of Greed. Stealthy Goblin Murder gets a sequel. Oh yeah, Styx. I have this game, but I never played it. Probably not going to play that one either. Wise X, Proud Nordics. Quality of life and graphical enhancements for the original Nordics. I don't think I played that one. Eugenics is a roguelike in the Isaac style. Yeah, except it's cats. Ties of Tomorrow. Ocean survival with the asynchronous multiplayer. I think I've seen some of this one. I think. Tales of Berseria Remastered. I don't really care. Resident Evil Requiem again. Don't do Resident Evil. So March. World of Warcraft Midnight. Tempting to go into... I know this isn't going to be anything special for World of Warcraft. I know it's just going to be more of the same, but man, it's still tempting to go back to WoW every now and then. I flipped it over and that was good. We need a Dark Souls game set in the world of Shrek with Donkey as a protagonist. It could be called Ass Souls. That might be actually entertaining. More entertaining than Dark Souls, depending on how the boss fights go. If there's no boss fights, it'll be perfect. Okay, Windstorm. Ride horses through 13th century Mongolia. What else? That's not very descriptive of what that's supposed to be. Coffee Talk Tokyo. A chatty spinoff with new customers and coffee. So much fun. Monster Hunter Stories. I don't do Monster Hunter stuff. Fatal Frame 2 remake. Survival horror. Replaced. Platformers I don't do. Solasta 2. This is early access on Steam. So Solasta 2, this is one of the games we're really looking forward to. And for the record, I will not be streaming Solasta 2 when it comes out in early access. The plan for Solasta 2 is to wait for it to be finished, as in released, before we start streaming it. Other than, caveat, if there's enough material to work with the character creation stuff, we might do a short stream just to show that off when the early access comes out. Again, it's going to really depend on how much is there. But again, the actual official notice of me, though, is I will not be doing Solasta 2 until the game actually goes into version 1.0 when it actually releases. No early access content. That's story-wise, for sure. But that's my general policy for RPGs. Do not do them until they're actually released. Yeah, I know it puts me being behind the curve and that kind of stuff, but it makes me feel better about myself. So, anyway, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, 4-player co-op FPS. No, I don't think so. Crimson Desert. That's the one we just saw, isn't it? Why is it so far down here in March? I thought it was up there. No, sorry. They were talking about that at the top. So this is when it comes out in March. Again, look at that one. Mouse, classic cartoon style FPS. Copa City. Manage and organize major football events. This is soccer when they say football. You know, I really wish that what they would really do. I know they give us shit for calling our football game football, American football. They give a shit for calling it football. You know what? They call soccer football in England, but they still call it soccer. Yes, I think if they really want to, if it's really soccer, they should say football, not football, but football. The way the rest of the world calls it, instead of what doing the English are calling it football. Because this is just as annoying as having to call American football American football. This should be say football as an F-U-T with a little accent mark. That's what it should be. Not this bullshit, because this is confusing. Hey, Jeff, welcome back. They call soccer football over there. Do they? Do they actually call it football? Again, it should still be called football, which the majority of the world calls it. Because this is there's too much confusion here in America when they call it football here. Because this is too confusing. American football should be called handball instead. No, it's called football. Because it's always been called football. Soccer doesn't exist. It's football and handbag. And again, you foreigners don't get a say there. And then we have Australian football too, which is technically like neither either sport. So, thank you, Australians. I do appreciate that. I appreciate you guys calling yours Australian football. Australian football is not like rugby. It is very much not like rugby. It's much more violent than rugby. It's a better game than rugby. So I miss it. I miss watching Australian football on ESPN back in the day. Football has always been called football over there. What, in England? I'm pretty sure they used to call it soccer. Football was created in England. Soccer? I don't think so. Welcome back, Leo. Australian rules. Oh, they don't even call it. They don't even call it Australian rules football anymore. It's just Australian rules. Anyway, let's continue on. This is a derailment that has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. So, Slay the Spires 2. Mistfall Hunter. PV. No, we don't like those for the most part, remember? Invisible VS. 3v3 tag fighter based on the world of the show. I have no idea what that means. Pragmata. Outer Space Action Adventure. I'd have to see what that is. Diablo 4. DLC. I don't play Diablo. I don't. Small Town Convenience Store Sim. Oh, so much fun. Fishbowl. Coming of age puzzle narrative called Fishbowl. Interesting take. Paralives? Small scale life sim. I would have to see what that is. Soccer is simply a diminutive association, as in a sock initiation football with added. See? Soccer. Soccer people are precious about the word football, but we continue to call it soccer just to piss them off. High five the Australians. This is why we're the best friends, Meerkat. This is why we're best friends. And by we, I mean the United States and Australia. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. We are the two best English colonies ever. Former English colonies. Because we're the biggest troublemakers. Rhymes with sucker, yes. What, Jeff? Did I say something that was offensive to the Canadians? Let's be honest. The reason the United States and Australia are such close friends is because we got all the criminals over time. The Canadians don't have the history of getting criminals like England, or sorry, Australia and America have. So that's why we're such good friends, because we're partners in crime. Anyway, so First Light, double seven, double seven. Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight. Lego games are fun for the most part, but never stream them. Halloween the game, no interest. Phantom Blade, zero. Action between a Souls-like and a hack and slash. No. Grand Theft Auto 6, again, this is not coming out on PC, and this should not be here because it says upcoming PC games in November, and it specifically says not on PC. Why is it on this list? Honestly, that's not supposed to be there. Rugby football? Sure. Puerto Rican ancestry used to play some kind of soccer. Soccer is popular popular everywhere. I mean, I don't think there isn't a country in the world that doesn't play soccer. See, I don't know what that is. So Ace Combat and Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thief. I don't know what that would be. Ace Combat 8. Oh, so flying around and playing. I don't really do those games. Axe of Blood. Indonesian set third person action brawler. Tiny Wander. Puzzle. No, we don't do puzzles. Alara Prime. 4v4v4 competitive tactical RPS. Not my thing. Was it Animo? Free to play creature nabbing RPG. So Pokemon, free to play. Aphelion astronaut adventure on an ice planet. I'm not sure how that's supposed to be different from anything else that's out there already. Arcane Eats, card slinging roguelike cooking sim. Oh, that sounds thrilling. Ascendant, Neon Punk PV. Nope, not going to do that. Fate. Just a reminder. At the beginning, I said most of these games I am not going to be interested in. I just put that at the very beginning, just as a reminder. Most of these games I am not interested in. They are not my thing. So we're just going through it for the audience. At Fate's End, sorry, Ascendant, Neon Punk PV. No, I did that one. At Fate's End, lush side-scrolling action from Spiritfarer devs. Spiritfarer. Why does that sound familiar? I don't know what this is supposed to be. Okay. Atmosphore. Sci-fi road trip flavored twist on survival crafting. Oh, I think I've seen this one. No, wait a minute. No. Is it? Maybe. No, this isn't. No, this isn't the name. There's a number of survival traveling games that are coming out, and that's why this one stuff. And by number, I mean at least 3 or 4. And the name doesn't match for the one I'm thinking of. Blood of Dawnwalker, 14th century vampire action RPG. Who's making it? That might be interesting. We'll see. Does Call the Elder Gods involve a weird cube puzzle box? Probably. Battlestar Galactica Scattered Hopes. Oh, we saw a little bit of this a couple of weeks back. Sci-Fi Fleet Manager. This didn't look very good to me. What I've seen of it, this does not look appealing. Beast of Reincarnation. Pokemon devs do post-apocalyptic action RPG. That's a good fit. Pokemon devs do post-apocalyptic action RPG. Definitely fits there. You can't see me shaking my head with my hand up in the air going, what the? All too often, vampire games suck. They always suck. Skybird, let's not kid ourselves. Vampire games always suck. Beyond the Stars, City Builder on the Space Wire. Oh, I've seen something about that one. Big Walk. Multiplayer walk sim from Untitled Goose Game devs. A multiplayer walk sim? Sounds energetic. Bloodstained, Scarlet Engagement. Don't do that. Bornless. Player versus Lovecraftian horrors. Oh, sounds spooky. Bubsy 4D. Atari revives the platformer. Don't do that, Atari. We don't need no more platformers. Busbound. Bus simulator with a growing sitter. What's with all the vehicle simulations just driving around doing a job? Big Wonka's cute. I saw some of that. Cute. Yes, that's what I'm looking for in my games. They're cute. Call the Elder Gods, Lovecraftian narrative puzzlers. Hey, there's a game for Skybird. Cat Catastrophe. Feline roguelike platformer. Oh god, there's so many words wrong there that to turn me away from that game. Cappy Castaway. Adorable capybara adventures. Does everybody know what a capybara is? It's a big rodent. Just we're clear. Years ago, I mean, not so many years ago, maybe when Gimpy was suffering from COVID, he had hallucinations of getting a capybara as a pet, and then looked it up and thought that was not a good idea. They look like they'd be awesome pets, but they are not. They're a lot of work. Chronicles Medieval, chivalric, sandboxing a la Mountain Blade. Oh, maybe on this one? I don't know. I have to see more of that one. Is taking those jobs from people down so they can be used for games to keep people entertained. Sure. A beaver rat? Yeah, beaver rat is a. Yes, actually, that's pretty accurate, Greg. Because the capybara has to chew a lot of stuff. They have huge ass teeth because they're basically the world's largest rodent, I believe, and they have to chew on a lot of stuff to keep their teeth under control. And that was the main turnoff for me because when you hear that coming out of a rodent needs to chew a lot, that means they're going to chew through a lot of shit and that you own. So you really don't want one. They might be rodents, but they're basically just grazing animals. They are rodents. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they are the largest rodent in the world. You can just get a gerbil. If I wanted a rodent, I would get a rat, in all honesty. Gerbils are, rats are more fun. They're smarter in general. Get a miniature pig. Miniature pigs are even worse than getting a capybara. Because here's the fun thing about miniature pigs. They're really not miniatures. They start small, but they get up to regular size pigs, which people don't understand. They don't stay small forever. They actually do get bigger and bigger and bigger. And the next thing you know, you have a choice. You can either set it free or you can have bacon for breakfast. Most people want to do the set it free thing. Because, once it gets to that size, you got an emotional attachment. Just get a boar. Yes. Just go straight from start to end. I heard owning a rat or gerbil help keep mice away for territorial reasons. Possibly. I have never heard that myself, but I could understand why. You have an emotional attachment to bacon. I do too. How come there's no bacon games? How come there's no game where all you have to do is make bacon? Because that wouldn't sell very well without the smell. If they could create a game where you make bacon, you get to smell it and eat it, that'd be an awesome computer game. Somebody should work on that. Anyway, Chrono Odyssey, fantasy MMO. Center City, post-apocalyptic apocalypse MMO, tactical shooter from NCSoft. So that's going to be horrible, more than likely. Clawsome, cute claw game sim. Sure it is. Clockwork Revolution, steampunk time traveling FPS. Okay. Collector's Cove, seaborne exploration and farming. So, what's that game? The one that makes me feel like I'm drowning? Nautica. Subnautica. Pretty sure what that game's going to be. Control Resonant. Trippy Remedy sequel with Dylan as the protagonist. Who the hell is Dylan? Crystal. Theater of Idols. Blood-fueled first-person horror. Yay. Crosswind. Open world pirate survival. Maybe? Pirate survival. So, Ark? No. What was the other game? Sail? The same people who made Ark made a game like that. It was supposed to be piratey type stuff. I think it was called Sales or something like that. Atlas, thank you, Atlas. That game had so much potential and they effed it up. Yeah, it died because they effed it up. Dylan is, you think, the brother of the protagonist of Control. Yeah, I have no idea who that is. The Cube, multiplayer RPG shooter around a giant cube. The Borg? Danganronpa 2x2. Revamped murder mystery double feature. What? No, I don't think so. Danchi Days. Revive a festival with puzzle minigames. No, I don't think so. Dark Switch. Fantasy city builder on a giant tree. I'd have to see how that works. I think I've seen that. Like a new turn-based pirate game? Such as what, Gray? Decrepit. First-person Souls-like set in a castle. Okay. Deer and Boy. Cinematic platformer with a deer pal. Sounds dangerous for the deer. Dench Attack. Do sick grinds with the train. Oh, sick rail grinds with the train. I don't even want to know what that is. Deus Ex Remastered? Really? Classic mini. They're finally doing a remaster of that. Directive 8020. Supermassive horror story in space. Dosas Divas. Food-themed turn-based RPG. What? What? You want a remake of Sid Meier's Pirates? I would just be happy with Sid Meier's Pirates just as a little free-to-play app for the PC. I'd be happy with that. It doesn't even have to be a remake. I'd be happy with the original. Hell, I might even pay a couple of bucks for it. Like the battles being turn-based, similar to Uncharted Waters. Okay. The creator of BattleTech working on a pirate turn-based game that has a successful Kickstarter. No, it's not. It's not a pirate turn-based. It's a what's it? It's not a pirate thing. It's a what's it called? I want to call it cyberpunk, but I don't think cyberpunk is accurate. But it gives me a cyberpunk feel. But it's not a pirate game, that as far as I remember. You cook your food from the monsters you kill. Apparently, not graft, not hair rain. Oh, so you're talking about Jordan? Jordan, what's his face? Wiseman. Jordan Wiseman. I have no idea what he's doing these days. I don't follow him on a regular basis. The fact that I remembered his name is amazing. You should probably write today's date down and go. Gimpy remembered something he shouldn't have remembered. Okay, Edge of Memories, JRPG inspired adventure, End of Abyss, third person horror from Little Nightmares creators, Engine Fall, social sandbox on apocalyptic trains. Okay, The Eternal Life of Goldman, hand drawn fantasy platformer. What's with the platformers? Why are we doing platformers? Platformers are so freaking 90s. That thing died. Ever Siege, Untold Ages, a roguelike co-op loot 'em up. Sure. Fable. Oh, that's right. They're doing a reboot of Fable for some reason. Not sure. I don't know what they mean by a reboot, though. Thanks, Ring. Nothing really ever truly dies. No, everything lives in circles. Video games are just like fashion. Everything comes around every 15 to 20 years. Because the video game industry is now old enough to fall into that little cycle of life type deal, where stuff that was popular back in the 90s is coming back again 30 years later. So. Fading Echo. Third person's Desert Punk. What's a Desert Punk action? Okay. Far Far West. Co-op Weird West shooter. I always like seeing weird in the description. Fate Trigger, anime-style tactical shooter. What's with the shooters? So we'll get pirate game themes in another 5 years. I would probably give it maybe 10 years, Jeff. The pirate theme has went on longer than usual, I think. Jordan Wiseman, Sea of Legends open world CRPG. Oh, I think I did see something about that. Hurricane. Take bets on which desert they bury the next ET in. Isn't the far, far west Hawaii? No, the far, far west is somewhere between the west coast of North America and Hawaii. Hawaii is the far, far, far west. If you don't go far, far west, you're in the middle of the water. Skull and Bones for screwing up the pirate theme for the next while. Yeah, there's that. Fate Trigger, anime, so that. Garbage Country. Post-apocalyptic exploration and tower defense. Maybe. Gears of War E-Day. The Marcus Fenix origin story? Maybe. Gecko Gods. Wall climbing puzzle adventure? No. Goblin America. High-speed psychedelic goblin-based FPS. Oh, I can... Just reading this whole sentence gave me a headache. Everything... There's so many trigger words. Goblin, high-speed, psychedelic, goblin again, FPS. This is nothing but a headache-inducing statement for me. Gothic 1 remake. Maybe? That actually might be good. If they do it well. I mean, the game's only, 20-some-odd years old, but that'll be fine. I'm not opposed to seeing Gothic 1 remake. Grave Season. Stardew Valley with a supernatural killer. The way it should have been from the start. I might get that one from Mrs. If it looks like Stardew Valley, but it's really got the supernatural killer killing everybody in the town, I might get that from Mrs. Gimpy just for the laughs. Did I play Drova? I do not think so. Drova does not sound familiar, that name. Ground Zero. Retro survival horror set in South Korea. Sure. Hark the Ghoul. First-person dungeon crawling. Ooh. I'm curious. This actually, first-person dungeon crawling, you don't see that too often.
Hello, it is time to take a break. Go check on the dogs. This break supports the purchase of Rocket's treats. If you would like to help Rocket feel like a puppy again, please visit gimpyknee.com/support or type !treats in chat. Thank you. Your next break is in 1 hour.
Let me take another quick break. I need to, I already went through my glass of water already, so this is a good spot. So anyway, yeah, retro survival horror set in South Korea. Yep. And Drova does not sound familiar, Ring. It pixel art sort of gothic game, really. Yeah, that doesn't sound familiar to me. But anyway, Hark the Ghoul. This might be, I'm curious to see what this is like. I always love the first-person dungeon crawlers. So anyway, it's a quick break. No ads, no nothing like that. I'm just going to get up, stretch my legs real quick, get some water, and be back in a minute or two. So thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the AFK screen. Okay, reminder, we're currently over on PC Gamer. Looking at the games that are supposed to be coming out in 2026. There's a link there in chat if you want to follow along by hand, or you can just continue watching on the screen, watching me go through this stuff. And once we're done here, we'll be switching over to Steam and working through my wish list to clean that up a little bit and probably add a few more things on to it based on what we were seeing here in this list, because that's how that works. But anyway, Hark the Ghoul, first-person dungeon crawling. Again, that's every time I see first-person dungeon crawling, it makes me think of Wizardry, which was one of the first PC games. By PC, I mean Apple games I played back in the early '80s. So every time I see this stuff, it kind of piques my interest. So I'm kind of curious to see what that's going to be. Anyway, Hella, third-person adventure as an adorable mouse. How would you want to be a mouse? He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction. He-Man has a brawl. Wow, that's appealing to a very specific crowd of people here. I don't know what to join that for. I am Jesus Christ, first-person savior. What the hell is that supposed to be? Yes, I chose those words carefully. Infinitesimals, third-person shooter starring tiny aliens on Earth. Run around shooting ants? Is that what that's going to be? Into the Unwell. Beautifully animated action roguelite. But what's supposed to be? That doesn't really tell me anything. Island of Winds, Icelandic folklore-inspired adventure game. Had to see more of that first. Joe and Mac Retro Collection, 16-bit platformer supports. Yay. More 90s stuff. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. 4-player co-op FPS horde shooter. No. Kuroniko Bowl Up. Cooking and restaurant sim with a sense of humor. I thought they all had senses of humor. Last Flag. Third person 5v5 capture the flag with cartoony FTF2 vibes. No. Let's build a dungeon. Sim where you build an MMO. A sim where you build an MMO RPG. I would have to see what this is. I have to see what that is to make any type of decision. Light Odyssey. Top-down boss rush Souls-like. No, thank you. Lords of the Fallen 2, sequel to the 2023 dark fantasy action RPG. Didn't play Lords of the Fallen for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. I forget. There was a reason, but I can't remember what it is. Love Eternal, psychological horror, pixel platforming. Again, more platforming. Marathon, Bungie's Technicolor extraction shooter. Build a dungeon is on your shit list. So, Marvel Tocom Fighting Souls. Guilty Gear Team tackles Tag Team Marvel. So just a fighting game. Mixtape. Music-fueled narrative adventure. That would probably be kind of hard to stream, more than likely, I have a feeling. Moonmin Troll, Winter's Warmth. Adorable Moomin adventure sequel. I have no idea what that is. Mortal Shell 2, body swapping souls like sequel. I'm guessing that's supposed to be sequel. Moodang Two Hearts, action thriller set in future Korea. Hey, they got retro Korea and future Korea now. Neverway, horror life sim RPG with retro low life style. No. Nivalis, cyberpunk slice of life. One move away. Strategic and cozy car Strategic and cozy car packing. Cram how many things you can get into a car. Is that what that's supposed to be? Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Latest of Capcom's Samurai Action Series. Not my thing, really. Antos, new horror sci-fi mystery from them. Again, not my thing. Order of the Sinking Star. Jonathan Blow's next puzzle. Again, we don't do puzzles games. Ugh. Outbound. Van life meets survival crafting and exploration. Oh, van life. I was thinking this is somebody's name, but this is living in a van meets survival. Oh, I think I've seen some of this before. It looks stupid, but it looks like it might be fun too. Out of words. Stop motion puzzle platformer for 2. No. Outward 2. Hardcore RPG sequel. Oh, and never mind, I know what this one is. Plain Atlanta 2. Cinematic puzzle adventure sequel. No. Please watch the artwork. Night surveillance of living artwork. Watch the rats chew on stuff? I don't know what that's going to be. Project Mist, early access. Co-op survival horror with eerie whales. Okay. Puny the Florist. Cozy narrative flower shop sim. Sounds fun. Railborn, sci-fi survival crafter, but on your own train. What's with the train stuff this year? It's like 5 or 6 games now involving trains in some one way or another. The remake of End of the Greatest RPG of All Time, meta deduction puzzle JRPG. Remnant Protocol, sci-fi flight sim plus rebellion management. Sci-fi flight sim plus rebellion management. Gotta take a deeper look at that one. Trains are great. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying it's weird to see 4 or 5 titles involving trains in one year. It's unusual. So Resonance, a Plague Tale Legacy. It's a pretty cool story of Sophia. So this is Plague Tale is a game that came out a few years back. It's supposed to be pretty good. I never played it, but I think I have it on Epic somewhere more than likely. It's supposed to be pretty good. I just, at the time, I didn't want to deal with plagues, I think is really what it was. Anyway, Road Kings. Semi-truck sim with career modes. Don't we have a game for that already? Rock Beasts, a musical RPG harkening back to MTV. Sure it is. Sure it is. Dragon Hellas, welcome back. Happy New Year. Although technically still only New Year's Eve here for 10 more hours. So, R-Type Tactics 1 to Cosmos. Tactics spin-off of a side-scroll. No side-scrollers. See, more side-scrollers and platformers. It's like we're back in the 90s. Sacrifier, pixel RPG with combo battle system. Curious, maybe. Sand, Raiders of Sophie. Big moving base fights in the desert. Big moving base fights in the desert. I'm intrigued. Picked up Train Sim World a couple of months back, learning to drive in case your current occupation doesn't work out. I think Train Sim World was... I think we got that... Did we get that free on Steam, or was that Epic within the last year or two? Of course, the Train Sim World, it's not the base game that gets you. It's all the stupid getting more train. You have to buy the trains and stuff. Like they're all their own little DLCs. They nickel and dime you to death. Kind of like, what's the Flight Sim one? DCS? Yeah, DCS. It's kind of the same deal, but with planes instead of trains. Okay. Scott Pilgrim EX. Pixel brawler based on the graphic novel. Sea of Remnants. Pirate RPG with fleet building and huge cast of allies. Sea of Remnants. Pirate RPG with fleet building and huge cast of allies. I'm intrigued. Skyrig. Factory sim, but floating around a gas giant. That doesn't sound as interesting as it could. Snap and grab. Photography-based heist sim. Take pictures, steal stuff. Solarpunk. Renewable energy survival crafting. How would that be difficult? Unless you're on a planet that doesn't have a sun. I don't see how this would be difficult. Stars of Icarus. Sci-fi crew-based starship PvP combat. I wonder what that really is. Star Wars Galactic Racer, a racing adventure in a galaxy far, far away. So Pod Racers Part 2? Maybe? Unless it's spaceships. Actual ships flying around. I don't know if that would be fun or not. Galactic Racer is supposed to be a thing. I guess. Stupid Never Dies. No shit. Speedy action RPG from ex-Capcom devs. Soulmates. Overcooked in Space. Overcooked is a little cooking tycoon type game. Spacecraft. Early access. Interplanetary logistics and deep space survival. Have to see what that is exactly. Subnautica 2. Where Gimpy goes to drown. That's what they should call it. Subnautica 2, where Gimpy goes to drown. Welcome back, Fruit Rules. Super Meat Boy 3D. Meaty platformer and another platformer. Surviving Deponia. More Deponia. Now a colony sim. I don't know what Deponia is. Tank Rat. Control tanks in this revamped version of Tankhead. I don't know what Tankhead is. Where Gimpy goes to harass penguins. Well, that was Subnautica Frozen or whatever the cold version name was of that one. It's not technically Subnautica. It was, yeah, it was it. kind of like the spin-off of Subnautica, where you get to throw penguins around. Will Subnautica 2 be twice as immersive? More than likely. How many games have I committed to? None. It's more of a I might look at it type deal. I have committed to nothing. Tenebrous Somnia. 8-bit horror with FMV. Really? Wow, we're really going back to the early 90s here, aren't we? 8-bit horror with full motion video cutscenes. Wow. That is going back in time. Tenet of the Spark. Third-person action with error swapping mechanic. I don't know what that's supposed to do. Tears of Metal. Is it Tears of Metal or Tears of Metal? Co-op hack and slash roguelike. I'm going to go with Tears of Metal. Yeah, full motion video is that's an old thing. Terratech Legion. Build your own Death Car Souls-like. Build your own Death Car Souls-like. Those words are not going together in my brain. You need to not put the word games and committed in the same sentence. There we go. See? There are no ghosts at the Grand. First-person musicals puzzle sim. Wow, that is wrong. Thick as Thieves. Warren Spencer's multiplayer thief successor. Multiplayer thief? So you can scream at your friends for being spotted, for not staying in the shadows. I think that's how that game's going to go 99% of the time. Time Takers. Free-to-play hero shooter from NCSoft. No, thank you. Toem 2. Monochrome photography adventure sequel. Really? We're even going back farther than the 90s? We're going back to the early 80s? Tomb Water. Rootin' Tootin', no, I don't think so. Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, another remake of the first game. Another one. Underpar Golf, no, we don't do golf. Valor Mortis, Napoleonic era Souls-like FPS from Ghost Runner creators. Vice Undercover. 80s drug lords take business online. From the 80s or modern day? Somehow they made it from the drug lords made it from the 80s to the modern day, so they'll survive 40 years and then they go business online. Is that what that one is? Or I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. Wanderberg. How's moving survivors like? Don't know. War for Westeros. Game of Thrones RTS. Oh, if they hadn't put RTS on that, I might be interested. Warhammer 40k. Dawn of War 4, long-desired sequel to the RTS series. Didn't Dawn of War 3 tank really hard? Didn't Dawn of War 3 tank really, really hard? They're brave for putting out a 4, maybe. Witchbrook. Wizarding School Life Sim. So, you two can be Harry Potter, but in a different school? WTF, Waifu Tactical Force, anime PvP FPS with meta base building. I don't think this game is going to be what it says it's going to be, just based on the title. WTF, you know that's not going to be right. Will, Follow the Light, exploration and adventure in dangerous wilderness. Zero Parades, espionage RPG from Remains of Zay. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Announced games that could surprise us. So we're at the end of that was December, right? No, that's why that list was so long. No, sorry. Those were ones confirmed with 2026. So that's all that stuff is supposed to be coming out this year. One way or another, either early access or actual release. Dawn of War 4 will have a new Primarch, or more precisely, old revived one. 2126 starts it and goes into open beta. Skybird, your sarcasm and pessimism are extreme there. Didn't see many Battletech Grumpy. No Battletech type. No mech stuff at all, actually. Okay, announced games that could still surprise us. Ahoy. Historical multiplayer naval combat. Maybe. That might be fun. Arc 2. More dinosaurs plus Vin Diesel. Well, you just ruined that one. Atomic Heart 2. Weird Topia RPG shooter gets a sequel. Black Myth. Zonqui, sequel to Black Myth Wukong. I didn't like that game. Didn't play it based on what I saw, so that's not going to happen. Played third-person Marvel action game from Arcane, so you too can be a daywalker. Blight Survival. Survive nasty medieval horrors with friends. Why is this special? Like Ark. Crescent Comedy. Magic Broom Courier Sim. Oh, yes. You can be a magical drone. Magic-based drone. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Open world delivery sim sequel. I didn't understand that Death Stranding in the first one. I'm not going to get that one either. Deepest Fear. Thessalopia, Industrial Horror, Don't Do Horror, Den of Wolves, co-op futuristic heist game from Payday devs. Payday. Oh, I haven't seen that name in a while. Drivers of the Apocalypse. Car-to-car combat. Mad Max, that's what we want to see. This is something that might be interesting, depending on what this actually is. Curious to see what this might actually be. Exoborn. Extraction shooter with a sci-fi apocalypse vibe. Exodus, time-traveling sci-fi action RPG with Mass Effect vibes. What exactly are Mass Effect vibes? You're either cloning Mass Effect or you're not. So which one is it? The Expanse, Osiris Reborn. This is sci-fi RPG. This is the people who do... this is Owlcat, right? The guys who do Pathfinder and Rogue Trader. I think this is their next game. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm a fan of the novels, and I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I am cautiously cautious on this game because, again, I don't know what they're doing here. How many times can you flog the Jurassic Park until they get up and eat you alive? I guess. Owlcat published different dev, I think. Yeah, more than likely it is. Their talk of using slop in games. We'll see if they make it out of there. Oh, they're using AI for artwork type stuff, right? Is that what you mean? Falling Frontier, logistics heavy space grand strategy. Ooh, that sounds very not successful. Far Ever. Multiplayer spin on Zelda from... no. Fractured Blooms. Farming horror in a time loop. So that sounds fun. Harmonium. The musical world. Musical adventure with deaf protag. Really? That seems mean. Haunted Paws. Co-op cozy horror as dogs. Co-op cozy horror as dogs on a rescue mission. Who thinks of that stuff? Ill? First-person action horror with realistic physics. Sure. Posted about that on 24. Yeah, we'll be trying to use some in their newer Warhammer game. It takes you off, and it's Owlcat, so I supported for freaking years. Yeah, well, they're a smaller developer, so they're trying to use AI to make their lives easier. Can't really fault them for it, but doesn't mean I think they need to do it. Industria 2, narrative FPS and AI infested. Oh, hey, fitting. Intergalactic Pawn Shop, adventure sci-fi pawn shop sim. Judas, Bioshock director's next FPS. That's helpful. Jurassic Park Survival, action adventure set right after original film. So what do? Drop into the room where the Tyrannosaurus Rex is stomping and eating stuff, and then good luck? Maybe. Kamuri, urban fantasy parkour for blah, blah, blah. Urban fantasy parkour. So running around bouncing off walls. And more are using it only during development. Yes, that's what they're saying. Only using it for in development. The rules of the word, the expression you're looking for is the first one is always free. Killer N. Square Enix does combat murder mystery. Why? Kingmakers change medieval history with guns. That doesn't sound like you're changing it. Sounds like you're warping it. Kyora. The Core Keeper Studios next survival crafting sandbox. Core Keeper. That's the one we were talking. The one I was talking about earlier, right? Survival crafting sandbox. We'll see. Or it does, and I find out about goes on your shit list. But anyway, upset that many that tried it came out with statements about how it's literally not helping and just bringing down more heat on their necks. There you go. Because I think they're starting to learn that the AI artwork isn't as original as they'd hoped it would be. That's really what it means. It's not what they were hoping it would be. Waiting for them to wanting to use AI to play all those AI developed games. Well, that doesn't sound fun at all. How are you going to make money off of that? Divinia Comedia, an action RPG adaptation of a classic poem. I don't know that poem. The Last Sentinel, dystopian action game by Lightspeed Studios. I don't know who Lightspeed Studios is. Light No Fire, an even bigger game from No Man's Sky's team. Really? Light No Fire is going to be bigger than No Man's Sky. You know they're not. You know it's going to be smaller by a long shot. You know it is. Long Gone, 2.5D. I hate 2.5D stuff. Pixel narrative zombie adventure. Eesh. The Lost Wild dinosaur survival horror. Sounds good. The thing is, it's been a giant push from the top to try and integrate it in development because CEOs are desperate for investor money, and some devs did and did not turn out well. Right? Yeah, yeah. It's also not. Again, it's not being as effective as they hoped it would be. It'll be bigger when all the DLCs. Yes, in 20 years. Yes, No Man's Sky wannabe, sort of. Anyway, Mandrake. Fallen London devs are taking on a witchy farming survival crafting. So what do? Grow your poisons to go kill your neighbors? Is that what that's supposed to be? Or get them high or something? I don't see where that's going to go exactly. Mina the Hollower. Shovel Knight devs action RPG. Isn't that what Shovel Knight already was? Longil Star Drive. Sci-fi gacha action RPG. Doesn't sound fun. OD. Hideo Kojima's collaborated with Jordan Peele. Not sure what that's supposed to be. Pathfinder, Abomination Vaults, Fantasy Co-op. Oh, yeah, this one's... somehow I got on this mailing list for this game. I don't know how. Not really interested in it. Persona 4 Revival, full remake of a PS2 era RPG. Phase 0, 90 style survival horror. No. Project Robot. You know, it is Shadow of a Colossus, Mysterious. I don't know what that is. Oh, because it's mysterious. That's why I don't know. Project Spectrum, first-person horror. Too many words. Reluted, heist sim where you reclaim stolen cultural artifacts. Hey, Indy, how you doing? Ritual Ties, first-person Lovecraftian horror. So you two get to kiss the octopus. Is that what that means? AI has made 30% more productive. Never mind, your starting productivity was 0. Kiss the cod? Cod. Isn't cod a fish? Isn't Lovecraftian all about the giant octopus from a different dimension trying to kill you type thing? I think octopus is more accurate for Lovecraftian than a fish. Simulation, meta horror, and what's with all the horror stuff next year? State of Decay 3, Zombie Apocalypse Homesteading. Zombie Apocalypse Homesteading. Streets of Rogue 2, immersive roguelike sandbox. Sword of Legends, Gaijin series action RPG. Tire Boy, action platformer about a boy who is also a tire. So you're going to be a tire bouncing around on platform to platform. Sounds fun. Vindictus, Defying Fate. Big old sword-wielding action RPG. I can envision what this is going to be, and it's going to look stupid. Void Martyrs, nun-based grimdark survival horror. So you're playing as a nun in a survival horror game. What's a nun going to do in a survival game? Did you understand that nuns don't know shit about survival, right? Because that goes against everything they are. I don't understand. Whispers of the Fog, first-person horror in the forest. I think that's been done. Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver, Wu-Tang anime-style co-op RPG. Sure it is. Okay, so that's the list. Sister of Pension, all that. Yeah, sure it is. Nuns are all about survival. Different time. Anyway, if you're curious what currently looking at a screen, it is PC Gamers list for games coming out in 2026. Except for that one that's supposed to be for a console that shouldn't be on the list. I don't know why they insist on putting that there because it's not going to be out for PC for at least another year or two. This is GTA 6 we're talking about. Why it made it on this list, I have no idea. But anyway, that. Now it's time to switch over to Steam and go through the wish list and try to get rid of some of that stuff, and probably add a few more to it. So anyway,